Everything is going extremely well.
And now, showtime.
Now, hey, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show today. Full disclosure, this is a pre-record because I'm probably having a baby right now. Well, my wife is. Anyway, I'm so excited to see you here today. I was not going to let the community section go unnoticed. Shout out wherever you're watching from. And it's been insane. By the way, I'm just going to share my screen. We're going to get right into it. Usually I kind of review some things, but we don't have time. We're going to get into it today. And with that being said, I just want to say a huge shout out to the community, by the way, okay, for what it's worth. If you go to the content section, if I look at the lives, it is incredible to see how many of you guys, like these lives used to get a couple hundred. We're now 2 lives at over 1,000 views after the fact. Like 1,000. This is after the live. So we got hundreds of people doing it. We got 1,400 afterwards. And it's like still going. 61. Look at that. Like, I mean, hey, look, it's not a fuck. I'm just enthralled. Like, this is just so much fun. And the comments on the lives, just, it means so much to me. So we're going to dive right in today to do all this stuff. Now, 2 big announcements beforehand. First off, Meta MBA program down there. It's been incredible to see all the people coming in. We got ads now for them live. Just like the amount of folks coming into there right now is just insanity. I just really, really appreciate all the folks coming in. And it has been so huge. And I'm going to show you a little bit of what that looks like here. So first off, we're going to get into the MBA. And this is our classroom here. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on. Now, the program itself looks like this. We have to start here, kind of figure out stuff. Then we get into the actual program, which is 12 modules deep, plus an intro and a certification and some bonuses. There's also some onboarding with some mindset stuff. But we get into the intros, the lessons, the quizzes. We also have a little live lecture with everything. Like, we get so deep with all of this stuff. It's just so incredible to see people and all of the experience that they've been having. That's a great, love that. Anyway, what you get is module number 1 is how to measure your results. Module number 2 is how to optimize and focus on your profit cost efficiency. Then we automate everything. Then we get into creative testing with Golden Bear. Then we document everything. Then we talk about what to do with the winners in creative testing. Then we map out your entire ecosystem, omni-channel. Then we get into financial planning so you can plan 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 9 months into the future based off of your hero offers and what a best case and worst case scenario looks like. We then also get into your testing roadmap so you can manage out landing page tests and offer tests and all pricing tests and a million other things. We also get into brand dev, how you can do your brand development to reduce your CPMs, increase your profitability. Just, it's like, this is so important. And honestly, like, if you're only running ads to make sales and you're struggling with CPMs, customer acquisition costs, and profitability, it's because you haven't nailed this stuff yet. And most people aren't even talking about it. Give it 2 years. Everybody will think it's important, but right now is what we're talking about. Then there's a 90-day plan, how to map out what the next 30, 60, 90 look like so your entire team knows what you're doing, plus a whole bunch of advanced curriculum. I'm also going to be adding 3 more things to this over the next couple of months. So that's incredible. We have live guest speakers, live calls with me, a bunch of members, and a whole bunch of fun stuff. So anyway, that has been super fun. Also, by the way, while we're here, this is Disruptor Academy. If you cannot yet afford the MBA, because yes, it's $10,000, then you can get into the Academy, which is $147 a month. There's also a free section. For free, you get to start here and see the free course hub. In the paid section, you get the blueprint, you get the recordings, you get the roast, you get the begin to win courses, you get the disruptor bot, you get the 250 ad templates to just like start making ads that convert right away. And for the record, the Meta Blueprint, like this new course, I'm so stoked. So when you join in, it will drip once a week. You get access to the next piece. But this is going on how to decode how the platform is actually using your ads, the 4PI analysis. Then we get into knowing your numbers, how to actually know your target CAC and your operating costs and what you need to do to create a profit or not, which is, honestly, a lot of people don't know these numbers. Then we get into the 322, the foundations of creative testing, how to apply the scientific method to the Facebook ad account, and like how you go from launching dozens of ads to making a lot more money. because launching dozens of ads is actually a really bad idea. And then we also get into creative testing. And what I love about this is it's building a system that scales. We actually break down the kinds of content that work at each part of the funnel, stuff that literally nobody else is talking about, but is foundational. It is not improve hook rate. It's not work on a CTR. It's, well, what type of content? Okay, well, a video might be top of funnel and a static might be lower. Okay, but yeah, what concepts of a video are going to sit higher or lower in the funnel? What concepts of images are going to sit higher and lower? So this is all just fantastic. And we have a community here now that's 789 members strong. So love that. And you see the Friday live that I'm recording right now. It happens in 20 hours. So anyway, fun stuff. And huge announcement also, we just dropped Disruptor tools. So if you want to know the internal tools that I've been using and a lot of the same work that I've been using in brands with a lot of like heavy lifting and a lot of effort, I've now automated all these things. Built out software. So the Hero Offer Intelligence, you can open the tool and you just upload your Shopify receipts and it'll tell you what offers drive the most repeat purchases, what the value of the first and second purchase together is, and what the timeline is. So you can create your best customers the fastest and get target CACs for each one. So you can stop promoting 15 different offers and start focusing on the one that actually scales the bank account with the highest confidence. The customer journey maps out the repeat purchasers and your customer loyalty. So you can see what items have the highest second purchase rate and how much of your overall reoccurring revenue is from those customer journeys, and mapping out new versus returning and percentage of spend and percentage of revenue and percentage of the breakdown and what the maturation rate is. So think of this as an LTV cohort, but what money you have today, not what you think you might get in 6 months or a year or something else. Actionable money in the bank account, how to make more of it next month, not what we think might happen. And then the PSM analyzer, the profitable scaling margin, you punch in your results and then you give it your CAC and your COGS, and it'll tell you how much more you can spend on your campaigns before you lose profitability. Right out of the gate. I think these are $39 a pop. You can also subscribe to all of them for $100 a month. And we're going to be adding at least 5, if not 8 more tools to this. And the price will go up for the whole bundle, but jump in now because it's still technically in beta. So you save a little bit of bucks. And, somebody did drop in a store that had 8 million purchases over the last 2 years. And it did break the customer journey insights thing. So we had to update that, which was fun. We just didn't account for, over 5 million transactions. I thought 5 million was okay. They jumped in 8. Oops. Okay. So anyway, a lot of fun stuff. Check this out. It's tools.disruptorschool.com. Disruptor tools. I'll drop a link in the description of this video for you. Go check it out. Anyway, let's dive into your questions and things. Viewer posts. I don't even know what that is. Okay. I like that. But anyway, getting to the community. Thank you for your value and storytelling skills. Thank you so much. Yeah, the new video, the new methods blowing up small ad accounts. I've been really trying to take a more visual approach. And apparently people really like, well, most people do. Some people, we'll get to the feedback. Filming. Love your ad account reviews, Charlie. By the way, if you want to get an ad account review, that's what the Academy is for. Every member of the MBA also gets access to the Academy. So don't think you're missing out. You don't have to make a choice. Just join the MBA. You get both. Would you say that giving a new ad or flex ad 7 days before raising budget or turning off is a good amount of time, no matter what the budget? No matter if the budget started at 50 or 1,000, I would say making a judgment call in less than 7 days on a performance of an ad is there's no way I think you could even do it. I don't know that you're able to understand, does this ad earn spend? And if so, which ad does it earn spend from? Because I would have a suite of ads in my control ad set. Say it's 5 ads and I launch a new test. If I don't change the budget, then if that test gets spend, it's because other ads get less. 7 days is not enough time to map out whether or not that new ad gets, which ad that new ad gets funded at the expense of, which ad that you currently had running gets less to fund that new ad, and then what the overall performance is for the account. You're going to know that in the first few days, it might get 0 spend or might get a lot, but it's going to be served at the bottom of the funnel. Your first 3-4 days of any ad inside of an ad account are disproportionately good. That is not a reflection of what you could expect. Ads don't fatigue after day 4. They just go away from the low-hanging fruit to actually seeing what might happen. And you can see that in a 4PI. It happens over and over again. Anybody that analyzes a 4PI knows that the idea that an ad fatigues in less than a week is absolute nonsense. They just mature out from your backyard into the real world, and sometimes they struggle. But that doesn't mean they're bad. Just means they're, existing in a life cycle. All right, BMO. Okay, so you said not to have tofu, mofu broken out into 2 separate campaigns. Yes. I'm proud of myself, first of all, because I started to figure out for myself before hearing you say it. Love that. By the way, Kaz from BMO, long-time Academy member, also an MBA member. So if you have a tofu that's really just an engagement social proof, I've started feeding in my organic cooks into Golden Bear, 1, 2, 3 stage setup. Golden Bear, by the way, is the creative testing strategy we use in the MBA program, where you can test hundreds of ideas without having to waste a lot of money on hundreds of conversion ads. Anyway, started being all my organic hooks, starting at stage 1, then graduating them up. But here's the issue. Is the final stage 3, the core set of 5 to 7 ads that are working? Yes. Or is that a separate campaign to move them to? The final stage of Golden Bear is understanding what concepts might work in your hero campaign. Also, GPT seems to think that I should be running my holiday campaign entirely in its own because of how short term it is. Does this seem like a good play? I think if the results of your holiday campaign are different, meaning that the AOV is different or people are buying for different reasons, then yeah, sure, go for it. If you think the result is not sustainable, then yes, try that out. If you think the result is sustainable and the result is the same that you would see in your normal campaign, then there's no use of bringing it out into its own campaign. Every campaign should have a different definable business objective. Every single campaign should have a different sticky note KPI of CAC or volume or efficiency, whatever it happens to be. If 2 of them have the same, there's no reason to run both unless one is designed to replace the other. That's what I would say. Also, yeah, the GPT, I got it. She's not talking about the metric GPT. Inside the MBA program, by the way, we do have a Charley bot that many of you might remember from years ago, but now we built it out over all of the training, the updated Andromeda stuff. And so, yeah, it's giving good advice because of how short-term it is. I love that. I like the advice. I'm glad that the virtual version of me says the same thing the real version would say. All right, but what does the ad account look like, Chris asks. I think this update has been impactful, good and bad for many brands. People are looking for ad accounts right now. We all know we need more creatives. No, you don't. But is it ABO, CBO, 10 ads per ad set? It should only be CBO. There's no reason you should ever have 10 ads in an ad set, and 100 ads in your entire campaign is way too many. You've been good, man, but no one needs a history lesson on Mazda. Chris, I appreciate that. I'm trying to teach a story, and this is one element of the overarching story. Actually, Chris, I'm building out an entire course. It's about 8 videos that you watch in progression. I understand that nobody needs a history lesson on Mazda when trying to figure out what action to take right now. But when you watch the video, it gives you the context of why that's what helps a business grow. Ultimately, if we all know we need more creative, no, most of you need less. If you're running 100 ad sets, you probably don't need 100 ads. You probably don't need to launch another ad for 2 months. This account that we're talking about here looks like every other one. 1 campaign per business objective. And if we have in this case, what we're talking about broad retargeting as a concept, then, in this campaign, the new method blowing up people, because scaling's never been easier. The account looks like it always has, right? I mean, it's this sticky note from years ago, right? It's 1 campaign. Let's see if we can get this to go. That might not because of the light. It's 1 campaign with a control ad set and then 1 or 2 creative tests. That's it. You have a control element and then you test to see if the test earns budget from if it pulls budget away from the control. And if so, if it earns spend, what happens to the overall performance of the campaign? If it's good, it's a win. If it's bad, it's a loss. I don't care what the performance says on the ad level. I don't care what attribution says. If the bank account is better because it exists and earns spend, it's a win. If it allows you to increase the budget, it's a win. If it doesn't allow you to increase the budget, it's not good enough or it's a loss. You don't need to get more complicated than that. And if you have so many ads running that you cannot tell this ad earned spend what happened to my bank account because of it, then your account is too complicated to manage. And a video that's coming out, I think next week, talks about just the absolute magnitude of this problem. Because I don't think people have any concept of like how complicated even 50 ads is, much less 1. And I try to explain that in a visual way. So Chris, please bear with me. It will be another visual, but I promise I won't give you another history lesson on Mazda. Okay. This guy can talk for 1 hour without saying anything. I mean, hey man, thanks for watching. It's I think a 20-minute video, but I could absolutely talk for an hour without saying anything. I think in this video I actually say a whole bunch. Do we really have to watch 300 videos to figure out how Meta changes algorithm on a daily basis? No, you don't. And in fact, Meta hasn't really changed its algorithm more than twice or 3 times in the last decade. There's no real significant change in how the platform works. And we'll get to more of that here in a bit. It's just more hyperbolic in punishing bad behavior. I just dropped a video on the Disruptor Academy YouTube channel. We'll get to that here in a minute. That describes this more in detail. But yeah, it doesn't make algorithm changes on a daily basis, and you don't need to watch 300 videos. I'm putting together this playlist that this video is on, and at the end of the video, if you'll notice, it says link to another video. There is a series of videos you can watch in order, and if you binge that video, you'll never be caught off guard by what an algorithm changes, because you realize it actually hasn't changed significantly, probably since before you were running ads. Hey, Charlie, thank you so much for your consistent value that you share on YouTube. You truly are changing people's lives and maybe even their children's lives. Thank you so much. I understand that you're busy and might not be your target audience, but I have a skincare brand, the Anti-Aging. It is completely my own brand with custom ingredients. My CPMs on average around $650, and some ads even have a CPM of $3,000. I'm not trying to sound like a beggar or hopeless, but is there any tip to reduce those CPMs? Yes. Go to the Disruptor Academy YouTube channel, or just join Disruptor Academy, disruptoracademy.com. It's free to join, and you can get into the free courses. There's a course in there. It's called How to Crush Facebook Ads on a Low Budget. I'm going to probably remake that video for this channel, where I take out all the low budget sides and just talk about how to dramatically reduce your CPMs. And my own real case study that I do in there, and I talk about my own business for Disruptor Academy, running the ads for the Academy. And I did it weekly on this channel. Every Friday, I came on and made the only adjustments I made. We went from 0 to, I think, 15,000 in a space of 100 days, 50,000 a month in reoccurring revenue. And my CPMs went from 80 to high teens. I think it was 65 or 80 on any given day, down to mid to high teens, low 20s. And what that process looks like. And my suspicion is all of this work that you're doing is what's getting in the way. So anyway, that would be my best advice, Epic Videos 911. Or just join the Academy, watch that thing and ask some questions. The free side of the Academy, you still get to ask questions and see all the playback of all of our live calls, like the one we just had before this. Let's see. Great story, but not sure I got the TLDR. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what it means. He means good storytelling, but I didn't learn anything. I don't think, just motivational quotes. Okay, so thank you, Jason, and Peak Performance, for your feedback here. And thank you for telling me it's good storytelling. The primary focus of this is to understand how the ads are being used and to have the right ad for the right place in your funnel. And to understand how to have a few complementary pieces rather than optimizing for the top performer that doesn't actually grow the business. Most of your quote unquote best ads are just things competing for the credit at the end of the customer journey. They're not the reason that somebody buys. They're not the reason that somebody cares. They're just cannibalizing each other to try to understand how to get from point A to point B. And really, they're all just like handing out cups of water at the 25th mile of a marathon, taking credit for why somebody started. If you want to scale your business, you can't go after low-hanging fruit. You eventually need to understand how the machine is using your ads and then build upper funnel and lower funnel ads to scale and have them all be complementary. This new method, blowing up small accounts, scaling's never been easier, breaks down exactly how to do that. The 4 metrics inside the ad account that turn Facebook from a black box to something that is easily readable by anyone. By the way, the insight from that is one of the new things that we'll be going into Disruptor Tools soon, and it'll do that analysis for you. Achievely, I know it's coming from a good place, but lately the content has been fluff and hot air. Let's get our hands dirty on this channel, do some step-by-step, don't just talk, show, hands-on, and an ad account teaches more about ads than footage inside of a Bugatti. I mean, I could have had this comment go 30x longer, but I value your time, value mine. Here's the thing, Achievely, I appreciate that for you, this felt not useful. That means, Achievely, you are binging a lot of the stuff. There are a lot of people that will watch that video And it will finally be the reason that they understand that Facebook isn't a black box. It will finally be the reason that they understand why an ad could spend $1 million and other ads fatigue. And I get that it feels like the content lately has been fluff and hot air. I also, every Monday, do an account audit. And every Friday, answer all of your questions. So if all of the free stuff of account audits and high-level deep theory and full access of asking your question and answering your questions and comments here isn't enough, join the MBA program. Hop into the academy. Get more direct feedback. At the end of the day, the more granular you get with advice, the more you exclude the value of that advice for other people. And if you want more specific towards your stuff, that access is absolutely available. But I got to provide the most value to the most people. And Sebastian, if you completely agree with that, I hope you guys really enjoy the next one. And there's the next 2 videos that I have coming out next week and the week after are exponentially more detail oriented on straight up just process. So, and I think we do show an ad account that scaled from $500 a week to making $12,000 in profit a week, one campaign. So we're laying out the groundwork for a larger piece here. And I appreciate that this one felt like fluff to you. And really what that means is that you are so invested already. And for that, I can't say anything other than thank you. Scott, if he shows his accounts and ads, it will expose him. I mean, I have shown accounts and ads. I built a 6-figure MRR business here live by just showing every week the only steps I had to take. Not long ago, he showcased the Broad Company and claimed that it had the #1 winning ad, suggesting it would generate $1 million in revenue this Q4. That's not true. However, when I checked my tools like Spy Hunter, I couldn't find any Winning Hunter. I couldn't find any evidence of it. In fact, the company hasn't run ads in over a year. That company, by the way, is called Under Outfit. And yes, Under Outfit's ad account is very active, spending over $50,000 a day. And I never said that that was the one winning ad. What I have shown is my entire ad account showing how we built that ad that spent over $2 million that's launched when we were spending like $50,000 a month. So maybe there's some lost in translation stuff. It sounds like Winning Hunter is a reliable tool because I run ads every day and so do my students. Awesome, Scott. It effectively shows whether an ad has been seen or is currently running. It's like ads library on steroids. Great. Does it tell you where the ad sits in the funnel or how it's doing? If it does, let me know. I'd love to see it. And if you want more stuff, let me know what it is. If you want more granularity into actual businesses, then, watch the Monday videos. That's what we do every Monday. So if you're not seeing it, let's watch that content. And you might not be seeing that content because you don't watch that content. And I do have multiple types of content on this channel. So fair enough. Maybe it's on me. Agree. It's time to come down from the clouds. Don't you worry. We are going to be landing this plane. All right. I promise. Okay. Now let's see here. I don't know what that means. I think it's gracias. Oh yeah. The interview I did with Oscar. Apparently a lot of people loved it, so I'm very happy that you enjoyed it. Professor, thank you. Question, please. Should all 5 ads be in the same ad set or campaign? Yes, same ad set. That's right. The new way to test ads. For those of you that are like, Charlie doesn't even test ads. There's a whole video on my entire creative testing process, or understanding the theology behind all of it. You're welcome. All right, I watched the replay thinking I set the speed to 1.5, and then Charlie got to the question where he answers about his ADD and realized I was watching the whole thing at normal speed. He just talks real fast. Yes, I do. I'm at 8:48. Can somebody tell me if the dog stops? I apologize for that. Yeah, and his dog really liked the new style of video. There you go. Mind blown. Man, what is this thing that just keeps popping up? Thank you. I'm glad I've been working with you for a while. Andromeda dropped and my ads continue to perform great. Also love that particular color of nail polish. Thank you. I'm not able to see video breakdown and creative element. How to assess which creative is working? Check the inbox section of your business manager and look to see what's getting comments and distribution. That will work. Okay, we are now 3 months back. So let's get rid of that. Boom. Go to the community section of Disruptor Academy. Okay. For those of you that didn't know, we have 2 channels here This one is Disruptor Academy. Disruptor Academy, much like the Disruptor Academy that we have, is designed to help people move. This one is designed to help people see the success they deserve and move into a place where they can begin to scale their business and gain independence, fire their ad agency, and eventually join the Meta MBA program. It is a wonderful community, again, of over nearly 800 people. I was about to say over 700, but nearly 800 people. Okay, now, all that being said, let's check out the comment sections here because we haven't really been addressing these lately. We did just drop a brand new course for Meta's ad algorithm. By the way, for those of you that were frustrated on the last week's video, go check out this course. It's kind of a summary of where we're going with a bunch of stuff. Like the cognitive load dropped dramatically to help people really learn what we need to do. So Aiden says these long form in-depth videos are the best. Yeah, the sharing of the ad account, the action items, the like grid system for the for the GPT, and like showing the scaling of the businesses. We actually, in the videos on the primary channel, in this channel right here, we'll be taking out like 5-minute chapters here and making them 20-minute videos. So just, we are really laying it on. So I hope you all enjoy it. Have been following you a while, and I'm just a binger in media buying, beginner in media buying. Well, hey, look, welcome. Positively Dark. Doesn't Andromeda automatically phase out poor performing ads by showing them less and less? Yes, but also poor performing ads for you might not mean the same thing as poor performing ads for them. And understanding how this all works is really important, especially if you think, well, it just phases out the bad ads, I'm just going to launch more of them. You're saying the machine can't deliver a good result, so I'm just going to give it more choices to make is not a very successful way of building things. So I tried to lay it all out for folks. But in short, yes, it does phase out poor performing ads, but generally poor performing for the ability to generate a consistent and positive end user experience. If you don't understand the business relationship that you have with Facebook or Meta, then you will probably struggle in understanding how best to leverage that relationship to generate the most amount of revenue. And more importantly, profit, because that's kind of what it's really all about. Okay. Alex, thank you. With the love here. Okay, Donnie, with how we run things, I honestly I didn't even notice that Andromeda had been implemented yet. If it wasn't for the cost cap bros complaining on YouTube about how the performance tanked, and Reinhold says 100%. Yeah, that's the thing. If you've been following what we've been talking about here for years, you didn't even know that Andromeda hit. Your results just were getting better all of a sudden. And to be fair, most people, what Andromeda did, the TLDR on Andromeda, meant that doing the wrong thing was more detrimental than what you saw before. And doing the right thing was even more valuable. The reality of the situation is knowing what the right and the wrong thing is takes a lot of context. And in an hour and 6 minutes, which is that course video, I try to break down that context at a high enough level that you really get something, but granular enough that you can apply things. And then if you have questions on them, people jump into the Disruptor Academy community chats and we just break them all down. We just did a weekly live call there, and half the questions were about exactly that kind of stuff. So anyway, check that out. I just finished the lesson, a lot of info to process. I think I have to watch the video a couple more times to take notes. Yeah. There's a lot of notes to take in this video. We're going to probably be remaking this scaling course video in the spring, especially when the incremental attribution flip really gets switched for that to be incredibly powerful. Pawjoy, watching this as a guy who have no idea about digital marketing, completely clueless about his explanation. Anybody has any guidance? I'm sorry that video didn't help you out, Pawjoy. One of my favorite things about how to be a media buyer, this video, is it comes with a GPT. If you watch this video, you go to the comment section. I'll just pull up the details of this video. The career path assessment. Here we go. Boom. And then you pull this up. I've launched a GPT that you can fill out, and it'll actually assess who you are and give you a great idea of what the best fit for you in the industry is. Let me show you what it looks like. So if you go to unlock your potential, which is, trying to do things here, right? All right, let's get started. When faced with a new challenge, your instinctive response. Let's see. Dive right in and figure it out as I go. Yeah. I naturally take lead in settings. Yep, that's me. Okay. Leadership vibes. How do you usually make decisions? I go with my gut. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not very measured. What environment do you thrive in the most? Fast-paced, constantly changing, full of action. Yep, that's me. Cool. You're built for momentum. How do you handle mistakes? I learn fast and move on. No big deal. Yeah, I try not to let them bother me. What motivates you the most? Achieving big goals, man. I'm a lot of A in these answers. Let's keep going. These are randomized. I'm interested. Okay, so when learning something new, you prefer just doing it out and figuring it out on the fly. Yes, I fail often, fail fast, and then keep moving. How do you typically handle conflict? I try to find a fair and logical solution. I'm very much on that, folks. And honestly, I try to avoid it if at all possible. I think that's the move for me. Yeah, I don't like conflict. If we don't have to fight, why should we? How do you feel about taking risks? I'm cautious unless, let's see, I prefer to stick with what's safe. I love it. I think I'm a little bit of a risk taker as a former drug addict, with a crazy life. Let's keep going. Okay, what best describes your work style? Intense bursts of focus and energy. Yeah, I'm ADD as fuck. Let's keep going. I had no plan to go do this career path assessment today, but here we are. How do you feel about rules? Helpful and there for a reason. Depends on the situation. I try to avoid them. All of them meant to be break or broken. I think it depends on the situation. A pragmatic disruptor. Look at that. Okay. How do you recharge your energy? I think it's a mix of both, depending on my energy. Absolutely. All right, which statement sounds most like you? I thrive under pressure. I love that. Okay, let's see. What's your relationship with deadlines? I need them. Otherwise, I won't deliver. Okay, and then I miss a lot of them. Sorry, Lindsay, my project manager. Okay, how do you define success? I think it's achieving big goals and standing out. I think that is really what I've tried to do. If people can't deny your impact, then, that's how you make things happen. Let's see. How do you usually tackle big projects? I jump it in and figure it out as I go. I am not a good planner. What role best fits you in the group? I am the leader. Yeah, I'm not the planner. I'm not the connector. What's your attitude for failure? It's part of the process. Bring it on. Okay. Where's the next one? What kind of projects excite you the most? Complex ones that need problem solving. Those are my favorites. And what statement fits you best? I am here to win. 100%. Awesome. So with that, it's going to give you the type of person that it thinks that you are and really give you a great idea for your career path. That's what this is all for. And the guideline for this is how you can make six figures as a media buyer. So it says based on my champion profile, that's the terminology here. It thinks I could be a media buyer, a digital marketing strategist, a startup founder, a sales closer, or a creative director. I have done 4 of those 5 things, but I am not a creative director. And then you could also dive deeper into what day in the life looks like for each one of those things if you want to. But anyway, that's what that tool is for. So I hope that with all that being said, there's a way that you can get some more guidance and some more inspiration out of it. Nicholas says, awesome video. Thank you. As an aspiring media buyer, where can I find case studies for practice to build my own portfolio? Disruptor Academy will do that. It's helped me a lot. Thanks. You're welcome. Let's get back to the full community section here. Charlie's videos are always full of knowledge, and I keep watching them again and again. All the long format videos he makes, and keep rewinding the video to take notes as much as I can. I am at Disruptor School's CEO community as well. Yep, Farhad is in the academy. It is filled with knowledge you can see when you step your foot into Charlie's community and start watching his content and see his journey. He just started running ads for business at $10 an hour into a multi-million-dollar business. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, that was me. I started at $10 an hour, and now what other audiences can I use? Can I use open targeting? You can use open targeting if you want for this how to crush Facebook ads with a low budget concept. But But you don't have to. That's sort of the whole idea. Savage fucking content. Well, thank you. I'm an aspiring media buyer. Where can I find case studies to build my portfolio? Charlie, does your school community make sense for people that are not doing e-com? Absolutely it does. We have a lot of people in lead gen and SaaS that are crushing there. It helps me a lot. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Great video. I hope it still works with all the new updates and all. It absolutely does. This is great. I cannot thank you enough. Well, you're welcome, Patricia. I have just one little problem. By any chance, do you know why if I promote one catalog when it shows an old one? I'm so frustrated with this. Thank you in advance. I don't know. I'd have to get a little bit more detail to that, Patricia. When you're saying promote one catalog, do you mean one product set or one catalog ad? I would need to know a little bit more details, but I'm happy to help. What should the minimum reach of a lookalike audience to start the engagement campaign? Right now, there's only 1,000. It should be enough to go flexible. Sure, should I go broad and exclude followers? If your data set is only 1,000, you can probably just get rid of the lookalikes part of this campaign and just straight up go broad. You're probably going to be fine. Charlie, does it hurt ad CTR, CPM, or any other metric if we include a landing page website URL in the primary text? No, not at all. It could even help the CTR. But again, CTR is not a performance metric in any way. In our catalog campaign ads, when filtering based on product ID, we can only see spend per SKU, but all the metrics by purchase are not visible. How can we see that? If you put in custom conversion events, you can see it. So I highly recommend you do that. You can also do like custom conversion by product, new customer versus returning, all of that fun stuff. And when you filter by product ID, you can see spend by SKU, export that, pivot table it out to product, and then lay that against your conversion rate by landing page. And you're going to start to see a lot of really important information. From India, and really here are just people are just fooling. They are only talking shit about making months of meta ads. When I hear you feel that meta ads are really understandable, you're welcome. Thank you for posting free videos. You're welcome. Once I collect a good amount, I will definitely join your community and then learning from your YouTube videos. Just a question. Should I use 322 for every ad? Yes. There we go. Hey, Disruptor Academy. Really nice, engaging editing. I'm fine, but thank you. For our real estate ads in India, budget that's $1,000 for 3 months. How much creative should we test? Cost per lead is around $3. I would not test more than 5 ads if I don't have anything running. If you have nothing running, 3 to 5 322 ads is a great place to start. How to stop watching around 40 minutes in, because I realized my INT nature of being infinitely curious and new knowledge has led me to process every skill that you talked about. Yeah. We do go in crazy in depth in that video. Day one here, great video. Can't wait to rewatch this in the future and know exactly what this whole video means. Oh, Samantha, please let me know how that's going for you. I will stop midway, even completing this valuable piece of art. Man, this how to be a media buyer. People are just really, really loving this video. And I didn't expect this video to be something that people watched from front to end. I expected it to be something where they did that test that we just did. It took what, 5 minutes? And then they found out who they are. And then they skipped to that part to figure out how to be successful and build a 6-figure income doing that. And then come back and ask questions. If I want to start running ads, so start with this video. Yeah, I would start with this one. Maybe Meta has changed a few things. Nah, don't worry about it. And maybe that's why you made the media buying course. I made the media buying course because I went to a summit, the Meta's Performance Summit, and I wanted to bring all the things we learned. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Sign up twice, never got the Meta slides. I don't know why that happened. I hope that you've got them now. This is 2 months ago. The Meta Pro team wants me to merge the brand development campaign and the building trust campaigns into one. Don't. Got to give you your flowers, incredible breakdown, and so much value given for free. I already started implementing. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, this scaling course is massive. Like, it makes me so happy. I think that's a little over 2 hours, and it breaks down everything you need to know to scale your ad account. Was thinking about the business verification in my case, building a website blog, but I don't have any business. I mean, I'm just building a website, want to monetize it. Once I began to get some revenue, I will have to get some self-employed as it is the law in Spain, but at the moment I don't really have a business, just my blog. How can I get verified? Do I need a proper company in my country? I don't know the legal ramifications for Spain, so I don't feel comfortable giving you advice, Miguel. I wish I was an international attorney. Not that I really want to be an attorney internationally. I did get a free ride to law school, but I chose not to take it. But anyway, I don't know, and I will try to give you the best advice that I can, which is build a business. In America, the advice I would give you would be to create an LLC around your name and just try to do what you can to make that work. INTJ here, trying to launch some kind of agency. Well, welcome. Hey, Charlie, it's a really great video full of information. I just can't watch without stopping and taking notes. The only issue I can tell you is that the video quality is awful, especially when you show the ad account. Yeah, I didn't do that for the purpose of confidentiality. We were trying something new with recording there, and I think the value of the information was incredible, but the video quality was just terrible. That's an ad account review, and we've since moved from doing that style to what we do on the primary channel here every Monday, auditing accounts and sharing them here. And if you want your account audited, just join Disruptor Academy and join the paid side of Disruptor Academy and submit yourself for an ad account roast. And we do them all the time. Last question here. If the audiences don't work and the problem isn't the ads, where would the problem be? What could be in the business? You might just not have a good business. And that's also totally fine. That's 100% okay to just not have a good business. Okay. Like that is absolutely a real thing that happens. So anyway, I hope you all are really enjoying this. I usually get to have a whole bunch of feedback from you all, and we get to kind of go back and forth and fun stuff. What I do want to do is take a moment here to really share this. I really want to share the video here that I think the most people were talking about, and really get into it. So what I'm going to do is something I don't normally do, but we're actually going to bring this video straight to the stage. Actually, no, we're going to do this right here. Cool. And we're just going to share what this is. I don't think, though, it will share the audio for it. So I probably won't do that. Yeah, let's avoid that because it'll be an issue. So what I want to do is I'm just going to go ahead and download this, and then if it's fast enough, we'll be able to bring it up. But we'll see. What I want to do is let you all know that Andromeda is a real deal. It is a change, and what we need to begin to understand is how to change the way that we look at the platform and how we look at the ads. There is a fundamental gap, as far as I'm concerned, I think, with how people have been taught to think about their ad accounts and how people have been taught to analyze their numbers. So I'm going to share you something here on my way of doing it. And this has fundamentally changed the game for so many. Everyone suddenly struggling with meta ads, yet others are scaling 10 times easier than ever. It's not luck. They're doing something that breaks one of the most important rules in the book. My name's Charlie. I've spent over $1 billion inside the Meta Ads platform, and I help anyone running ads scale brands, drive leads, and make a lot more money. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what they're doing differently, the real secret behind why their ad accounts are exploding, and how you can scale your ads faster than ever before. This is a Bugatti Chiron Super Sport 300. Its engine is an 8-liter quad turbocharged W16 masterpiece. 4 banks of cylinders, 16 pistons, 4 turbochargers, screaming in perfect synchronization. Every one of its 3,500 individually machined parts is hand-assembled in Molsheim, France. A mechanical orchestra capable of producing over 1,500 horsepower, with a top speed of over 300 miles an hour. And for my international audience, that's nearly 500 kilometers per hour. It's breathtaking. It's perfection sculpted in titanium and fire. It's also unbelievably complex. So complex that an engine replacement alone costs over $850,000. And maintenance takes days of precision disassembly by the highest paid technicians in the world. One mistake, one faulty sensor, and your whole system shuts down. And then there's the Mazda Miata, 2-liter engine with 200-something moving parts. It won't hit 300 miles an hour, but it could also go 300,000 miles before ever needing to be repaired. What you want is a Bugatti, but what you need is a Mazda. The Bugatti is a masterpiece, but that masterpiece will burn through an entire tank of gas in 9 minutes. 9 minutes, and then it's empty. You can't scale that. You don't want ads that fatigue in days. You want ads that work every day. You need something reliable, a system we can throw more money into and make more money out of. And if it breaks, we can fix it fast and cheap. But somewhere along the way, a small group of people convinced the whole industry that the way to win was to build Bugattis. They were agencies, ones that had a media buying and a creative department. They built repair shops first, then told everyone they needed supercars just to go to the grocery store. And that is where Launch More Ads, Test 50 Creatives, and Outpace Fatigue all came from. The illusion that power and complexity were the same thing. Most advertisers think more ads mean more chances to win. But all they're really doing is making their machine more difficult to run. Every new campaign, every new creative, every new test adds friction. Now the system has to learn dozens of new patterns at once, and your results become unpredictable, volatile, chaotic, and expensive. The truth is, simple scales. A well-tuned engine, or ad account, gets faster and stronger the longer it runs. But when you're constantly rebuilding it, you're spending more time and energy just trying to keep it where it is, instead of letting it take you to where you want to go. So let's address the elephant in the room, shall we? If what most people call ad fatigue is just self-inflicted speed bumps on the road to success, if that's really just a myth, what's actually going on? Well, let's unpack it. Every time you launch a new ad, Meta has to stop and relearn everything that it already knew. It starts feeding those new ads to the warmest audiences first, the people who already know your brand. So of course, those ads get quick wins. But those wins come at the expense of old ads that were already doing the real work. Now, your system thinks the new ad is a winner and your old one is dying. But all that's happened is you gave credit to the last ad in a very long customer journey. You didn't solve fatigue, you just reshuffled credit. Now this is fine when you only launch a few, but when you launch a few dozen or a few hundred, you can begin to see how this spirals out of control, putting most of your money where it does the least good, and the funnel drives up. That's why your winner ads burn out so fast, not because the audience is tired, but because the system never gets a chance to learn what actually works. And the focus on a win at any cost today means far less opportunity for wins tomorrow. Then there's the second myth, that you've exhausted your audience. Well, let me tell you, I used to spend over $1 million a day for single accounts. And even at that level, it took a week to reach 85% of Americans just 2.5 times. Back then, CPMs were 10 times cheaper than they are today. You would need to spend $10 million a day to truly burn through your audience. So if you're spending anything less than that, you haven't even scratched the surface. What looks like audience fatigue isn't exhaustion at all. It's just a reflection of effort spent in the wrong place. Too much energy at the bottom of the funnel, not enough at the top. When you prioritize efficiency over opportunity, you don't actually scale. You make the machine annoy the same people more and more instead of learning how to find new ones. And the more you interfere, the slower it learns who really loves your content. But if you do nothing, if you give this system time to learn how to put your ads together and who enjoys seeing your content, it will start finding more new people every single day. Scale isn't built in a weekend. It's built the same way compounding interest grows wealth. If you only up your budget by 5% 3 times a week, I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you start at $500 today, you'll be spending $130,000 a day 1 year from now. That's what patience does. That's what consistency compounds into. Overnight successes always take a long time to make. Malcolm Gladwell said it best in his book Outliers. It takes 10,000 hours to reach mastery. If you truly want your ad account to be reliable, predictable, and powerful, why wouldn't you give it the time to become a master? Mazda knows this better than almost anyone. The company started back in 1920 building machine tools in Hiroshima, long before it ever built cars. Over the next century, they perfected a process built on patience, iteration, and learning. They created the rotary engine in the 1960s, a piece of engineering so simple and so unique that it powered everything from sports cars to aircraft. But what truly made Mazda special wasn't innovation for innovation's sake. It was understanding why their machines worked. Every generation, they refined. Every model, they simplified. And that's how they build cars that can run for 250,000 miles or more. Not because they added more parts, but because they mastered how each piece fit together. That's how you build something that lasts. You don't guess. You don't rebuild it every few months. You learn how it works so deeply that you can make it better with every turn of the key. And that's exactly what we're going to do next. Because Meta's system, the machine behind your ads, isn't magic. It's not a black box. It's a machine that wants to learn how to win for you. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to see inside that machine. You'll learn how to know exactly what Meta is doing for you with every ad you run, so you can understand the work it's doing, measure it, improve it, and get faster and more profitable every single day. Because once you understand the system, you stop fighting it. You start scaling with it. That's the real secret. Simple scales, complex fails. So until next time, I'll see you on the internet. There we go, everybody. By the way, that next video that I was talking about is this one. It's the new way to run Meta ads in post Andromeda. It is right here. Boom. You can check it out. This is designed to binge. This is a playlist where at the end of this one, when you're done, it'll tell you to go to this video, which is blowing up. And then at the end of this video, it's designed to go to this video to help you scale your business. These are all parts of the equation to get you to the next place. And I think that video ends with how to get to $100,000 a day. But you can't watch this video and get everything that you need out of it if you don't lay the groundwork. So for those frustrated with the fluff or come back down, just understand there's a reason for these things. And I'm trying to really push for everything here. Now, that all being said, I'm not live today because, again, I might be sitting with my new son. I may or may not. So anyway, thank you all so much. We don't usually record these I think this is only the second time I've ever done it, but I want to say thank you all very much for being here. Again, feel free to check out the Academy and feel free to, please check out Disruptor Academy. Also, the Disruptor tools. Again, if you missed that early on, go check that out. What we are building is massive, and it is information that you need data teams for. And what in less time than it'll take you to write an email to request the information, you will get data that you've never seen anywhere else. And just it is so phenomenal in the execution and in the value. And soon I will be doing some videos where we talk about the tools and we actually walk through them all. But that all being said, thank you all so much. I will see you soon. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Bye, everybody.